Do you like to create? Hello, I'm Coach Lance Meyer of Grass Ministries, and I'm in the watercolor studio here. We've already started a waterfall painting here, and now it is dried, and so I'm going to come back into this painting just a little bit and add some of those darks in there. So I'll put it about like that so you can kind of see it. I'm going to be working from kind of actually this way, kind of coming down. So it's already dry, so all I'm going to do now is look for areas. I'm going to hold my brush kind of real loose like this, a flat brush, and I'm just going to kind of look for those areas that are kind of dark and almost negative space, these little areas that are almost like misty. So I'm going to keep this loose, lots of paint on the brush, and I'm just kind of hitting the darks a little darker. I'm trying to create these little like natural edges. Again, the less I can do with a paintbrush, the better, but there are times when I need to kind of come in and control things just a little bit. And this probably is the thing that takes the most patience, skill, and to be honest, just kind of, where is it dark? And I'm emphasizing those darks a little more. Where are those natural things kind of going on? I'm going to pull, there's a little dark there, I'm going to darken that a little bit. We're trying to keep loose. Same thing here. The less I can do and build on the natural, the better, but I'm going to emphasize any of these areas I think that would a little bit dark, and I'm just creating a little bit of more of a waterfall effect. And again, this is, just the more I can keep that natural, I'm going to do this. I'm going to spray bottle that a little bit. Try to create those natural areas. But I am getting some cool effects with that, where it is just a little darker in a couple areas. Right here seems pretty dark to me. And I've got these little, all I'm doing is grabbing like what's already there and just kind of emphasizing it a little bit more. Where is it dark? And I'm just going to darken it a little bit more. There we go. Same thing here. I'm going to emphasize that just a little bit. Then I'm going to bring down. I'm trying to get this to be as natural as possible. Again, I may spray that to kind of create natural water. There we go. So just doing those couple things works pretty well. I'm going to give you one more little technique. I'm trying to get it so you can see that. Put this down just a little bit more. Okay. So I'll hold this up so you can see it as well. So we're getting, again, some real nice, notice I've emphasized a couple of those darks. Still trying to keep this as natural as possible. You can see it's even dripping down a little bit. That's great. Okay, so this is a real balance of not doing too much. I am going to take a little bit of a toothbrush. If I can find the toothbrush, I usually have one over here. There it is. And then and this is, the key on this is not to do too much. I already have some splatters in there from the brush that look pretty natural, but I'm just going to grab just a little more. And I said that the key to this is not overdoing it. But on the bottom here, I'm just going to kind of, yeah, there we go. Just a couple little, there we go, natural things there. And then I'm going to keep those whites. So I'm going to just pull that off of the natural whites there. There's little nice little drips. I'm going to see if I can create just a little bit of a white there. So there I'm going to come in, I'm going to wet my paper towel. I'm just going to kind of try to create a little bit of a white through here. Just a little, okay. And then other little tip is to grab a little gouache. I happen to have a little bit of white gouache here somewhere. There it is. And that, I'm going to grab that toothbrush again. And I'm going to grab a little bit of this gouache paint, or if you have any watercolor white, you got to keep this pretty wet, so I'm going to do that. This may or may not work well, but I'm just going to kind of pull that in there too. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So a little gouache, lots of water. These are a little white. This is white gouache. I'm just trying to recreate a couple of those little splashy things as well. Not only with the blue, but a little bit of white as well. One more shot of that. Lots of water. My gouache is not the greatest gouache in the world, but it works. There we go. That's what we want. We're getting some cool. Now that just went crazy, but I'll actually just kind of, yeah, we're just going to do this thing here. So, happy mistake there. Kind of got a little extra on my brush, or on my, just going to use that wherever I can and create these little white little spots on there. And one last, don't want to overdo it, but as long as we got it, we're going to throw that in there. Okay, that's great. I think we got a nice little composition here, guys. I'll hold it up for you. Actually, it's dripping, so I'm going to let that drip down. Maybe even come all the way off the page. Yep, and then I'm actually going to pull this back up too. Just trying to use that natural water as well. So, you know, and maybe I'll end up framing it this way, right? I think it's going to end up going this way. I'll go back on that. We got a nice piece. Relatively simple. Couple little watercolory techniques. Do one more right here. Just, I got that nice little light right there. I'll just, maybe you can even see that. I'm just going to kind of negative space paint. Light next to dark, or dark next to light. Where is it naturally going? There we go. Fade that out. There we go. All right. So you create that nice little natural light there. I'll do the same thing over here. Actually, that one's really nice. I don't know if I want to mess with that. I'll mess with this one just a little bit. See that? Just doing that little bit, I create a little bit of a edge to that. And then I'll soften it in the middle there. There you go. Break it up a little bit so it's natural. Again, hit this corner so it's dark in one corner, kind of bringing it on down. And I'm going to darken this corner as well. I'll have to natural up that a little bit. That's the great thing about a little spray bottle. I hit this corner too, kind of dark, kind of creating that. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's what I want. Kind of natural there. So I've got 3 dark corners, 1 light corner, just a little composition thing. All right, I think we're going to let that be. The only thing, I don't like is I got a lot of white right there, so I'm going to just grab a little bit of